Taking a cup from her, a sip of coffee Neri's made for us. That hit the spot. Well, I don't particularly like it black. The bitterness and the perfect temperature, while my cold body revive my mind. Coffee calms the mind. Chemically? Emotionally speaking. So who did you speak with after we split up to ask around? Knowing it was proving difficult for me to gather information alone, I should suggest we work together, so it's a natural question. Since it's almost time for school and nurse to leave, I went to speak with her. Working together with Neri, it cleared my head, and that's when the idea had come to me. Realised that instead of my fellow students, I could be asking for faculty, but for teachers and other staff and employed at the academy. I see. Asking teachers might be a good idea. I don't stick their nose into the love and lives of their students, right? The school nurses told me that on the day of the attack, Ichigo couldn't put Ringo around midnight. She treated her. Her ankle was badly sprained. It was bad enough she won't be able to walk for some time. I see. Must have freaked out when she was attacked. The encounter outside a chapel at midnight. In terms of location, it's like something out of a gothic horror movie. I think I'd do more than freak out if something like that came at me. Which is exactly why I can't forgive it. I verbally nudged Neri for her end. She takes out a file of the Academy's almanacs and spreads it open on my desk. We're looking into a legend of a werewolf of a bell tower. Look for all almanacs, but isn't any mention of it. Yeah, I look too. Surprisingly on it. It's quite up to the other seven. So I talked with some of the staff and the teachers who've been working here the longest. They told me it's a legend about a wolfman who lives in a chapel. If you encounter him, you'll be taken away. Just like all the other mysteries. Yes, seems the details of this particular story are very vague. Says if you meet him, you'll be taken. That's a rumour about when you hear a bell toll at night, a werewolf shall appear, but if that's just from one source, it's probably a definitive element. Sounds more like a typical embellishment you get with ghost stories. I thought so too. It seems like Mrs. Yoni's the same mystery with no real bones about it. Sounds more like a fairy tale than anything else. Drinking my coffee, I turned to a glaring question. So why should a werewolf of Bell Tower appear now of all times? Rumours spread faster than wildfire when accounting for Ringo's attack. Until now, the apparition seems to have been relegated to a side note in some dusty almanacs. So how did it take root amongst the student population so fast? Hey, Yuzuriha, let's go take another look at a chapel. I particularly want to go there, to a place where Ringo and I shared many a secret date, but I'll make us some more coffee after we finish our inspection. Says brightly, and there's no way I can argue. She was waiting for you here on these flagstones when it came at her. Now my eyes against the cold red remnants of his dying sun, I stare up at the chapel. A werewolf of a bell tower, the only place of it to hide with its surrounding woods or underground theatre. What about a bell tower itself? Must be some mechanism for ringing a bell, so maybe we could hide in a space that's set. Like my hill against the ground where once only my footprints had remained. No way. Teachers keep a strict hold on the key, and the door to the tower is only open once a year for maintenance. Looking around the area for umpteenth time, Neri puts a hand to her cheek and eyes narrowed in thought. It does strike me as something of a fairy tale. In that it doesn't ring true? Even more so after what you just told me. Let's think. How about this? Perhaps the story was so spread to put off anyone thinking of coming to a chapel late at night for its clandestine meetings. That's a little too close to home. I'm sorry, but it does feel like a way of implicitly rebuking someone for something they shouldn't be doing, like how they say that if you cut your nails at night you won't get to be with your parents when they die. Was that an old warning to prevent people from having terrible accidents because the lamplight was so dim? Yes, exactly. No explanation could be the faculty spread of rumour because there was a lot of students attempting to scale a tower. We're getting into conspiracy theory here. Her brows furrows as she regards me reproachfully. I'm not making fun of you, but the fact of the matter remains, she was attacked. This isn't just some scare story designed to frighten kids and staying in bed. Mind you, someone really was hurt, plus a culprit left no prints but scene of a crime. No footprints? And don't tell me that makes it more likely it was a ghost. They planned this. A cynical smile tugs at the corners of my lips, but... I see, so the only footprints were yours. Seeing the furrow between her brows and the way she touches her ear, you can tell she's deep in thought, and I feel unhappy. Can't believe she's being so kind to me. Having my best friend here with me the same as ever serves to bring me a little tranquility to the stormy seas of my heart. In my efforts to solve a case of a werewolf, I've gathered plenty of information. I have several clues to work with. However, like the scattered pieces of a puzzle, I still didn't form a complete picture. I can see what a picture should look like, but it's distorted, so hardly something I can show to others at this point. Scarfing down late lunch, I turned the pieces over in my head, trying to decide what to place down first. So few possible candidates. They all seem to have too big of a space, too unrealistic. And yeah, gag coming out of my head when not focusing on my food. I had to say that meals are sacred and deserve to be enjoyed independent of anything else going on. Being distracted by something else while eating is apparently rude, and I agree with her. This is a BLT, I've got to savour it. Bacon, lettuce, tomato, and mayo. A perfect BLT sandwich. That's what a BLTM is, isn't it, though? Sunday, so I can take leisurely lunch from a gazebo without worrying about the time. One of life's little luxuries, or it would be usually. This takes me back. I remember sharing sandwiches with her here back at the very beginning of autumn. Crisp bacon and crunchy lettuce and tomato. Fragrant coffee. Coffee? Memory isn't really in the air. I'll turn around to the source. So this is where you've been hiding? A gentle voice addresses me. Neri, would you mind if I joined you? Memory of that night when she rejected me rears its unwelcome head, making me want to turn away out of pure awkwardness. My best friend is smiling at me like nothing's changed. Sure, I just started and said I have plenty of food left. A smile melts my heart and I give in. I'm sorry for making you listen to all that stuff about werewolf incidents. I know it kind of violates the sanctity of meal times. I told her how I went to meet Ringo at the chapel, how I waited and waited before going to her room, and learned that she'd been attacked in front of a chapel. I just suffered a whole sprain to her ankle. Told her about anything that stood out, the chronology of events, mud on Ringo's shoes and prints around the chapel had been erased. I told Neri of it. I find it easier when I'm processing my thoughts to talk through to them. Get out loud with someone. I have a habit of getting carried away like this. I suppose it's easy to talk about it precisely because of without Neri. Wait. She was attacked in front of the chapel. How did she get back? Because she clearly couldn't walk, or there'd be more of an issue getting back. So did someone find her at the chapel? Who found her at the chapel? And why didn't that person have footprints? Footprints. She murmurs, touching her earlobe, signs she's deep in thought. Does she have a real identity of a werewolf? Turns a hazy gaze on me like she's awakening from a deep sleep, and blinks to clear the clouds away. Sorry, there's just wrinkles are bugging me. Remember a little, I'd often make her listen to me ramble about the same things over and over while trying to work something out. Feel like when you summarise your thoughts as one, you get a more objective handle on them. Guess it's a habit I picked up from you. Still curious as to what exactly was bugging me, I focus on enjoying the delicious coffee. She pray to God I'm sure she'll offer guidance. She generally means it, but the suggestion makes me uncomfortable, so you don't feel like continuing this conversation. I'm pretty sure God would want to guide me as far away from him as possible from him. Last week I should have said it in front of a devout Christian, but I don't feel like taking it back. There's a approachable gaze trained on me like she sips my coffee. By the way, whatever happened to the Wendigo case? Change the subject. She must have known about debating religion, but simply be a waste of time. Wendigo. Right, it was talk of a school for a while. I haven't heard a peep about it recently. Been completely replaced by a werewolf. Looks like it's been devoured by the beast itself. Can't help but chuckle at graphic phrasing, still. Wandering Wendigo over woods. Dull Mother Katabami promised you wouldn't feed wild animals anymore. Why don't we go like looking for Wendigo if you have time? Time. I don't want to say I don't need to spare, but I can't deny I must stand to a werewolf right now. I hesitate for a moment. Good idea. Good off-season hiking could be just what I need. The forest is still clinging to its autumn colours, but the air now is the chill that heralds the change of the season. Feeling the icy sting on my cheeks, I brush my fingers across my skin. I'm surprised I discover how cold I am. It's almost time to break out of the winter uniforms. Hey, Yuzuriha. What's up? Is Ringo really badly hurt? Yeah, pretty badly. It's just a sprain, but a really painful one. Looks like she won't be able to attend classes for a while. She was studying in her room. Is that so? She asked me if it was Ringo's right leg which she hurt. Yeah, a right ankle. My little brother hurt the same one playing soccer. In fact, it was pretty much the same kind of severity of injury. Her eyes are narrowed as she's touching her ear, so as though she won't, as she is wont to do when she's deep in thought. Really wish she would pay more attention as she's walking. If you trip, you'll end up hurting yourself too. But she mumbles in agreement. She doesn't pull herself out of her musings. And as I warned, she almost trips up several times on her way to the spot where Dull Mother Katabami had been feeding a raccoon. Thankfully, though, we can make it there in one piece. And when we arrive, we're at the base of a particularly large tree. This is... Looks like someone's been living through the forest creatures here. Bits of vegetables from school allotments are strewn across the ground in exactly the same place as before. Weren't some students caught feeding wild animals before? Yes. It was reported to teachers and they were reprimanded. It seems like we didn't take it to heart. What on earth is going on here? First, when a group of students look after a injured raccoon. Then after being found out and told off, Dull Mother Katabami and released it back into the forest. Due to kind nature, she kept on bringing food until it was fully healed. After she was found out and warned, she hasn't been able to keep looking after it herself. So maybe she went back to her students and first found it. What's up with Dull Mother? Huh? Are you saying that Dull Mother Katabami had been feeding the forest creatures? Did I accidentally voice my thoughts? No, that's not like me. I'm feeling more hard-pressed than I realised, but I had a big blunder with not being more aware of myself. Tell me, or is there anything you can't share even with me? Her eyes shine with sincerity. If you promise not to tell anyone, knowing which is not going to let this go, I have a sight at my oversight, then go on to tell the whole story. I see. So it was Dull Mother Katabami. Sorry to break it to you, the truth behind the Wendigo incident was so prosaic, but... Yes, I know. I won't say anything. She would have promised not to do it again anyway, but who did this? Yeah, that's the main issue right now, isn't it? The only sound is the dry country of leaves beneath our feet as we make our way back to our school buildings. I'll speak to Dull Mother again, even if students doing it this time, not her. You want me to keep quiet about it? You don't want it to blow up right now, do you? Not when the Council of Nicaea's elections are so close. We don't want to cause any more stress for Suoh-san. A nod and no smiles. Once the elections are over and we head out to a Christmas party, our job will be done. It's a prospect that fills me with both sadness and relief, and I find myself lost for a response. I spoke with Dull Mother Katabami again, but she seemed completely shocked by the news. It was when my reading powers to her fullest extent to peer into a window with her eyes, but in a room looked exactly the same. It was lying to cover someone I would have been able to spot something course, a lack of change can be just as telling when intuiting that someone is thinking, but I don't sense that either. It's in my internal monologue. Guess this means we have a second Wendigo on our hands. Not like we're making any great mischief. In fact, if you ignore the fact that it goes against school rules, actually doing a good deed. Even so, there's something about this benevolent Wendigo I just can't shake. Staying up with a clear winter sky, I find something niggling at me, but what? Just then, I hear a faint ring of footsteps turn up to look for the corridor. In the distance, I see a familiar figure raise his hand and glide gracefully towards me. That's the end of the episode. Bye bye.